Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at the Pomona Spillway and we are going to test some tires, so stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back everyone. So today we have a set of the Reefs scrubs on these beautiful burgundy kilos here, these Battleborn kilos, and we are going to be running the wheel tire setup on a originally base camp converted to Rock Pirate chassis. So it's a pretty simple build. We have the stock axles front and rear, stock trans, and we have 4-linked it up front. We're running a Holmes Hobby 1800 revolver with a 40 or 70 amp ESC and a Reefs 777 servo. We do have brass portal covers on the front and the rear. I did just make this custom bed and I think it's on the website. If not, I'll throw it on there, and it will be on the website by the time this video plays. And then also the Unimount. This is a new design that I have uploaded to the website as well. You can download it and print it out. So far I have 3 or 4 different chassis base mounts for it. So if you need a mount, let me know and I'll try to accommodate that. Outside of that, we're going to run this 1500 Z-Pack. We are running some 3D printed inserts that I designed and printed. These do not have BBs in them, so yeah, they're pretty light wheel and tire setup. So let's get it out on some lines and see how the tires do. I'm really excited to test out these tires. They feel really good. They feel like a mixture between Predator and G8 compound through Proline tires. And I also like how big the lugs are. So there is a bit of a disclaimer, the tires are dirty. I've already run a couple of packs through them to see how I like them. I actually made a video on this already. However, the footage got misplaced, we'll call it. So we're gonna run it back. We're gonna see how these tires do. We're gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna close out the video. So let's hit the rocks. All right, so this first line is a pretty iconic one. I've got many trucks hitting this line. Oof, that was almost the first round go there. Typically you got to go to the left a little bit. So the weather today is pretty chilly. So that's going to definitely impact how the tires perform. I think one of the rocks also got knocked out of the way over there. Just gotta find the right line, I suppose. So typically you have to go to the left to make it up past this. I'm gonna see if we can heat up the tires a little bit and make it go to the right. I've never seen a car go to the right like that. Yeah, that was very impressive. I've never seen another set of tires do that. I typically vent my tires. However, these tires are not vented because compound is very soft and the carcass is very thin. So where that becomes a pretty big problem is trucks like this weight here. It's hard for the lugs to do anything when the carcass is thin. And a soft compound like Predator. I don't think we're going to get that. Let's see what this breakover does here. This could be a limitation of the truck as well, so some of these lines may not be doable. Oh wow, look at that. Oh no. Alright, so luckily I carry this quick tool with me everywhere I go. We were able to get it screwed back in, and we can get it going. Highly recommend one of these. They're team associated. I will leave a link for it in the description below. All right, we got that fixed, so let's go ahead and keep on keeping on. This is a flat skid chassis, so I don't expect it to have the greatest breakover angle. However, the tires were digging really good there. Boom. Got enough traction, got us up and over it. So this next line is almost impossible all the time. We've only got this line a couple of times that we've been out here, out of like 10 to 15 times that we've been here. I think we've only made this line once or twice. There's a trick to it, and I definitely don't remember it off the top of my head. This will be a limitation of the truck, I think, and not necessarily the tires. So, right rear getting sucked into that hole. I think that is the way you have to do it. I just don't think this truck has the capabilities to do it. Try it one more time and then we'll move on. So I'm losing daylight. Holy smokes. Look at that. What is that thing? Is that like a pack rat? It's what you would call like a marmot in Colorado. It's definitely interesting. Oh, there's his hidey hole there. Found him. Whew. That really scared me. Yeah, that's not going to work, so we're going to keep going. The irony there is that he actually just went into the next spot I was going to go, but I'm not going to bother him, so on to the next spot. So I don't normally do this, but we're going to go from transition from this spot on the spillway to the spot we normally hit, just to see what these do. Gonna unload. Beautiful. Initial impressions are these tires are very, very good. I don't know if it's just the weather, but like I said, I have been running them, put a couple of packs through them on different trucks, or 2 different trucks, I guess. This will be the 3rd. Look at that. That was impressive. So this will be the 3rd truck I've tried them on, and get a little bump there. And I will tell you that as of right now, I will definitely be buying more of these tires. I really just wish they were licensed, or that Reefs came out with a licensed set of tires. The older I get, the more I like scale stuff. And I don't know that we're going to be able to get that. That right rear's got us trapped in that corner. Whew! About fell. There we go. That's what we wanted. Look at that. That was excellent. I don't know that we're going to be able to transition out of here, and we don't really have a lot of time, so we're just going to pick it up and move it to the next line. So this is where we typically start this specific line over here at the bottom. We come crawling up this way, then we'll bridge the gap here to transition out of the rock. Kind of messed myself up there while I was trying to reposition the camera. We can get that right rear to bite. Not 100% confident we're going to be able to, so we might just have to keep going, see if we can wiggle our way through this. Whew. Definitely bound up. Hear the fan changing speed, so we're going to unbind it. I don't want to destroy the body. This is a fresh Nomad body. I'll leave a link for his Facebook page in the description as well. Dude does fantastic work, as you can see. So now we come up through here. We will go right up the wall. And we're going to circle around on this rock. See if we can, we're gonna have to reposition. Ooh, hitting on the skid. Need to reset my endpoints, they go way too far. So a little bit more about this truck. We're running Vanquish rear shocks. I believe they're 80. I believe they're 90 millimeter. They might be 80, I'm not sure. I'd have to measure and tell you for sure. So we're running Vanquish shocks in the rear. We're running 100 millimeter Desert Lizard shocks in the front. As you can see, they do work very well. There's definitely a method to the madness. Don't think we normally come up that way. Normally come up this way. Go up here like this. Oh yeah, look at, I mean, that is just, they're like sandpaper, just sticking to the rock. Now this rock is pretty abrasive as well, so I'm not going to say it's all the tires, but they are doing much better, like that right there, much better than most of the other tires that I've brought out here, to include the J Concepts tires. So, and that's the final line there. So let's jot over here, past people's trash, and let's hit this little line. Seems like every time I come out here there's different lines from rocks being moved by drunk people or weather or whatever the case is. This next line is ultra fun. It's also pretty hard. Anyway, back to talking tires. So my favorite tires to run are actually Proline tires because I like that they're licensed, first of all. Second of all, I like the different compound selections. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get this line. This is definitely not flat skid capable. But I like the license behind it. The tires look good. They perform good. Now it's a little I don't want to say that. Tires is actually a big thing, right? Tires and also the insert, because they'll essentially make or break your truck. You could have the best truck in the world with the best tires in the world and have the worst inserts in the world, and your truck is going to perform horribly. Like I'm surprised this is actually doing this. This is wild. Oh, that lifter is going to fall off. Ouch. Well, there goes that. Broke my PLA mount. That's unfortunate. The good news is we got plenty of footage to go over the tires. As I was saying, I typically run the Proline tires because I like that they're licensed, and I also like that they come in two different compounds. The G8 compound and the Predator compound. The G8 compound is more rigid, it's harder, and then the Predator compound is softer. The reason that I say all of this is because Like these tires here are a mixture between the two. They're not as soft as Predator and they're not as hard as G8, and they feel really, really good. My daily go-to tire is the BFG Crawler by Proline. I've used Tusks, I've used Megalithics, I've used a lot of J Concepts tires, and quite frankly, they wear out way too fast for how much that I drive. I would go through 2 or 3 sets of tires in really a couple of months. It just adds up really quickly when tires are $65 to $85 a set minimum. And so I want something that's going to last a long time. And with these tires here, these Reef scrubs, they've actually lasted very well. This is the 3rd pack that I've ran through it. I'm obviously not all the way through this pack, but there's no sign of scrub in yet. And they do phenomenal. So there's a couple of key things with tires that you need to know. The first thing is that, again, the tire and insert's going to make or break your rig. So typically what I do is I'll run a Predator tire for light rigs, for 4 to 5 pounds or less. From 5 to 8 pounds, I'll run a G8 tire in the summertime. So anytime it's over 70 degrees outside, I'll run G8s on all 4. Anytime that it's between 50 and 70 degrees outside, I'll run G8s in the rear and Predators up front. And then if it's under 50 degrees, I'll run Predator on all 4. Again, this is for a 5 to 8 pound truck. Now, it seems like these tires here are doing really well unvented. And by the way, the Proline tires that I was just discussing are vented. So this truck is right around the 7 pound mark, and they're doing really well. The problem with a J Concept tire, or the J Concept compound and the tires, is that they're really thin carcass, and that makes it much harder for heavier trucks to get traction. So you see a lot of comp trucks that are 5 to 6 pounds or less, and they do really well with the J Concept compound, and that is because they're light. You put the J Concepts on something heavier, and it's just not going to do well. I don't want to dive too much into that topic. I just kind of wanted to cover an overview for people that may not know about RC tires, because it is a huge deal. I would say that tires and inserts are probably 25 to 30% of your truck's performance. So choose wisely. With that being said, again, BFG crawlers are my daily tires. However, I will maybe make the switch to these Reef scrubs because I really, really like them. So I would highly encourage you to try them out, and I don't say that lightly. I'll leave a link for them in the description below, or if you can find them at your local hobby store, support them. With that being said, we're pretty much out of run time for today, so I really appreciate you for making it this far. Huge shout out to the Jake's Adventure Garage Club members, and as always, I hope you have a great day.